Hi, this is just a real quick chat because I've found a bit of new information about Birkenhead. Now, it's really interesting when I've done various stories about Harry and Meghan's hospital births, and when I've done other stories, I'm often contacted by nurses and midwives who know what they're talking about. And they give me a little bit of extra information, and they do tweak my interest somewhat. Plus, I did do the video about the fact that it is possible to have a surrogate birth very privately in the UK, and I gave an example of a clinic that provides that sort of service. So, I'm not stating that that's what happened, but I'm saying that the rumours that are out there and the people that believe that it's a possibility can't be dismissed out of hand. And just as an academic and intellectual exercise, it is sometimes interesting to look into things a bit further and just to see what you can come up with. Well, I've come up with something not, really fantastically exciting, but I have come up with just something that tweaked my interest a little bit, and it might tweak yours as well. So one thing I found out was that there were 2 journalists and authors present on that day, actually following Harry and Meghan around. Now, one you would already know, which is Angela Levin, but I'm pretty sure that Valentine Lowe was also present, because I found an old Times article that he wrote about their visit to Birkenhead. Now, there's something a little provocative about the headline on his story. Now, I know subsequently that the Daily Mail did also lead with a similar sort of headline, and I've got some more things to tell you about the Daily Mail too. But Valentine Lowe filed this at 12 a.m. on the 15th of January. And I suspect that he was, how they appoint someone in the Royal Rota to actually do the report, and then that's shared through the various newspaper groups that are part of the Royal Rota. I suspect that he was actually there. Now, if he was actually there, and if he was the one that created this rather provocative headline, I really wish that someone would interview him. I really wish that someone would get Valentine Lowe on their podcast, someone that has, enough punch that they could get Valentine Lowe on their podcast. And I would love them to put to him the question whether he saw anything untoward on that day. Now, I'm going to read you the headline for this article. April baby for Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Meghan lets slip. Now, I don't think Meghan let slip. I don't necessarily believe that that isn't a cheeky reference. I'm just putting it out there. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it could be. Now, before I read you a bit more from this article for Valentine Lowe, I also have closely examined 80 photographs from the Daily Mail. So they had a photographer there on that day, and they published 80 photographs from the Birkenhead visit. And 79 of them are absolutely fine. And one made me raise my eyebrows slightly. Now, the other thing I want to say is we all know the photographs that are around on the internet from that day. And I am not confirming or denying those photographs, but I am sharing something. I've been looking into those, and they could be 100% valid, or they could be photoshopped. I'm not saying they are. I'm saying they could be. Now, if I'm being a bit mysterious and vague, people that are in the know that are watching this video will understand why I'm being a little mysterious and vague, because we're just exploring rumours and allegations that are not proven, and I am in no way asserting that they are proven. Okay, but I looked into these photographs, and the interesting thing about them is, like I said, there's 80 photographs that are from the Daily Mail. So there, I can verify the ownership. I can verify who is printing those photos. Okay. Now, the ones that are more interesting, and you know the ones I mean, it's impossible to determine who took the photo. I can't find an on-the-record publisher of those photographs. Now, if an on-the-record publisher for those photographs could be determined and could be verified, well, then at that point, you have something, okay? But I don't have that yet. Now, where was I up to? Reading Valentine's articles. So it's the headline attracted me. I have a great deal of respect for Valentine Lowe. I think he's a very reputable journalist and he's a very good author and a good writer. And I would love someone to delve with him. So in his article that he wrote, he says about what let slip, because like I said, the headline, Meghan let slip. And then you read the article and it says, when the Duchess of Sussex revealed yesterday that her baby is due in late April or early May, it was a rare example of Harry and Meghan letting slip any detail of consequence about her pregnancy. For royal fans, it was a juicy nugget. And then he goes on saying how Harry divulged that he meditates every day. Now, that's why I think that he was there, because there is bits in this article that isn't anywhere else. It doesn't appear anywhere else. There's a level of detail in this article. So I'm wondering if he was the representative on the Royal Rota for that day. And then it goes on with feel-good stuff. Then it moves on where they go inside and they're in that sort of discount cafe and supermarket. And then Meghan makes the joke about not being able to lift heavy objects, things like that. Okay. Now, the 80 photos that I did check out, there was one that looked a little different to the others. And I'll put that up for you on the screen now. And you might see why it looks a little different from the others. It was during the walkabout, okay? Now, it can just be also just a different angle, okay? Now, the other person that was there at Birkenhead that day was Angela Levin. And I'm just going to read you a little bit about what Angela Levin says about that visit. So she's talking about them visiting Merseyside and she says, Meghan looked stunning in a purple dress and red coat, but she seemed on edge, constantly pushing strands of hair behind her ear, fidgeting with her coat and holding her baby bump. And then she tells about the charity and what they were doing there and the purpose of the visit. And he said as another interesting thing, Harry hovered close by looking distinctly under par, and Meghan spoke about women on behalf of both of us. When she finished her speech, she nodded and pointed to him to unveil the plaque. He obeyed. Then she laughed and clapped him as one might a small child. Now, I've looked at a little film from that day, and it didn't quite play out the way Angela sort of described it. They both unveiled the plaque, but then she did clap and laugh and pat him like he was a little toddler. That's true. But she did actually help him unveil the plaque. So the reason why I'm so fascinated with the Birkenhead visit is that I am convinced that it was the press attention and the press stories from Birkenhead that actually created the distress the next day when she was feeling severely depressed and they had that alarming scare, and then she had to go off and see Cirque du Soleil and was crying when the lights went down. You know the spiel. So that always fascinated me because I do think the two are connecting, and I just wonder whether she had a look at that headline Meghan lets it slip. Anyway, just a quick chat, just a quick little juicy tidbit, and I'll be back to see you again really soon. Bye.